Nō mai, haere mai, welcome. I'm Bruce Munro, and with me is International Relations Specialist, Professor Robert Patman, and this is Global Insight. Thailand has been dogged by decades of military meddling in the nation's politics. Could that finally be at an end? Welcome, Robert.
Morning, Bruce.
The Move Forward party has won the most votes in the Thailand's general elections.
Yes.
Why is the prospect of a democratically elected non-military government such a novelty for Thailand?
Well, we should remind our viewers that until 2014, May 2014, Thailand was a constitutional monarchy, albeit perhaps not of the standards we expect in established democracies. Nevertheless, there was a military coup in May 2014, and for 5 years Thailand was under military leadership. The military decided to relinquish full control in 2019, and they established a constitution which paved the way for elections, but also gave the military a privileged role within the new political setup. And that's one of the things that may cause problems for the Move Forward party.
How much interaction does New Zealand have with Thailand? Is this simply the place we go for cheap overseas holidays?
Well, certainly quite a number of New Zealand tourists, but quite a lot of tourists from around the rest of the world go to Thailand. It's an attractive country to visit. And yeah, there's very good relations between New Zealand and Thailand, and they go a long way back. Recently in 2021, the two countries celebrated 65 years of diplomatic relations. It's the 8th largest trade partner of New Zealand. It's a country of 70 million people, so it's a substantial country, and its economy is currently growing despite somewhat, shaky political situation in recent years. Its economy is currently growing about 4% a year. So it's a country that New Zealand has a free trade agreement with on a bilateral basis, but it also participates with Thailand in 2 multilateral trade agreements. So there's quite considerable links between New Zealand and Thailand, and if anything, Thailand has assumed a new importance in recent years because we've heard repeatedly from first of all Jacinda Ardern and then her successor Chris Hipkins that New Zealand wants to diversify away from too much trade reliance on China. So Thailand is one of the countries that New Zealand may be looking to expand and strengthen trade with. Who
are Move Forward, and what are their prospects for reforms?
Well, it's Move Forward are a group which have pledged themselves to reform the monarchy. The monarchy has a very privileged role, obviously, within Thailand. Under Article 112 of the Thai Constitution, you can be imprisoned for up to 15 years for criticising or insulting the monarchy. Move Forward, I think, wants to try to amend some aspects of Thai society which they believe that many young people find anachronism. One is they want to amend the Constitution and therefore reduce the role of the monarchy. And they also want to reduce the role of the military. And that's likely to run into opposition from the military-appointed Senate.
You've said that might run into opposition. How likely are they to actually bring about any meaningful reform, do you think?
Well, first of all, they've got to try and form a government. With their partner, Pew Thai, populist group, these two parties, Move Forward and Pew Thai, have more than 300 votes, but they need 368 to be able to form a government in their own right. And there's concerns because already some members of the Senate appointed by the military have said they can't support Move Forward because Move Forward will amend the Constitution, Article 112, with respect to the privileged role of the monarchy. So there is anticipated problems there, but the young charismatic leader of Move Forward, a 42-year-old person who actually was foreign educated, including education in New Zealand, He has made the point that while they're going to be reasonable in this interim period, they have up to 60 days to form a government. He said that the Thai people will be very frustrated if anybody attempts to defy the results of the election. So it's an interesting situation. Move forward. It depends to some extent, given these constraints. It'll be interesting to see how these two parties move forward and Pheu Thai can stay united. There is some speculation that Pheu Thai may seek deals with military-backed parties, but again, it's early days. It's a tremendous result for a new party. I mean, to come on top, be the major winner of the night is just tremendous.
And so what do you think this change means for the rest of Southeast Asia?
Well, I think in geopolitical terms, Thailand is seen as a bit of a prize in the rivalry between the United States and China. I think the Biden administration, they probably won't want to announce this from the rooftops, but I think they'll be privately delighted that bottom-up democratic movement, which appeals to young people, will be seeking to reduce the role of the military. After all, it's part of America's political philosophy of civilian control over the military, and this is precisely what Move Forward are pledging. So I think the Americans are very pleased with it. I'm not sure China will be so pleased with it. They may see this as possibly a recipe for turbulence. And Thailand has been through a period of turbulence in recent years, with many young people protesting. So nevertheless, in geopolitical terms, Thailand remains a very important country in Southeast Asia. And the hope is, I suppose, that there can be a reasonably smooth transition to move forward forming a government with its coalition partner. But there does seem on the face of it to be some obstacles, and how those obstacles are navigated will depend, I think, to what extent if there's trouble in Thailand and whether it spills out into the region.
What is the significance of Thailand's election result within the country and internationally?
I think it's of potentially it's of enormous significance. In national terms, it shows that two very strong institutions, the military and the royal family, have to some extent been dealt a blow by what is clearly a grassroots, pro-democracy, anti-establishment uprising. We have a party here which has only been formed relatively recently and has emerged on top in the elections. So I think you have to see this as a bit of a snub towards the, if you like, the privileged forces within Thailand. Internationally, it may reinforce a sense that with the stalling of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, we're seeing a bit of a counter to what was seen at one time, the rise of authoritarianism internationally. And there's no doubt about it, young people in Thailand are enthusiastically supporting the Move Forward group. And I think that has international implications because it ties in with a bit of a resurgence and belief in the power of ideas and democracy globally.
Thank you, Robert. And thank you for watching. Catch us next time on Global Insight. Ka kite anō.